Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right, boys.
Right on, writers, and welcome first-time viewers to the Books by Adrian author platform and our flagship show, Livestream Sunday. I'm your host, Adrian Santiago. Welcome. Join us each and every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same channel, for this awesome show where we interview a creative person every single week. This is episode 7, lucky number 7 of season 4, and we have 8 episodes left in this season. So thank you very much for being here for this one. Today's guest is the great and powerful Sako Tumi. Sako Tumi is an awesome author tuber among many things. We're going to talk to her about all the different avenues that she travels in just a little bit. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy this episode, please leave a like on the stream and hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel without having to spend a single penny on anything. If we can hit our goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this season, we'll unlock community features for the channel that'll bring us all closer together. So don't forget to turn on notifications as well. So today's episode will feature 3 short segments. Let's see here. We're going to be having a topic, an interview, and a live chat. We're going to go through that together within the next 60 minutes and wrap this puppy up around 5 p.m. Let's see what else. Please label any questions for Sako Tumi with a big fat Q. That will help me find it in the chat and incorporate all of your questions in that third and final segment. Okay, so if you didn't make it to the live show and you're catching this on the replay, please take a moment to comment down below telling us about a witchy character or story that you've written. And if you're a reader rather than an author, tell us what character is your favorite witch. Lastly, the comment of the week. Actually, I'm going to wait on the comment of the week until I have Sako out here because today's comment of the week is pretty interesting and kind of special. Join the Patreon. I am introducing the Tuber Book Club this Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there for that video. And if you've signed up for membership to the book club, I thank you so very much for being a part of the launch. And if you didn't get a chance to sign up, don't worry. You can still join us for the stream, still read the book along with us. And then when we pick the next book, when we open up that poll to the masses, we open up the signups again and new members can come in. So you haven't missed your chance. You'll get another one in about, in just a little over a month. So stay tuned for that. Okay, well, I think that I have wasted enough of everybody's time. Let's go ahead and bring out our guest today. Sako Tumi is a talented, multi-talented force to be reckoned with. She's a writer, an artist, a dancer, a graphic designer, and if that isn't enough, she can probably concoct a potion or two. So please help me to welcome everyone's favorite witch, Sako Tumi. All right, Sako, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so happy to have you here. You're one of my favorite people on AuthorTube, and I'm looking so forward to this conversation. I have so many questions, as I'm sure you saw. Go ahead, and if there happens to be some poor schmo in the live chat that doesn't know who you are, go ahead and take the floor and let them know who you are, where you're from, and what you've been doing lately.
Oh, okay. I'm Sako Tumi. also known as Cass Voit. I write horror and paranormal thrillers. I'm a chaos witch, which I've been a graphic designer since 2003, and I often combine those things. I can be found on the internet as Sako Tumi, Cass Voit, or Psycho Sako. My links are down below in the description for easy clicking. And I am a published author of 2 books, a paranormal thriller, Flambeau, which was most recently, and the cyberpunk paranormal thriller, Hope's Chest. I've got a bunch of new writing coming down the chutes, which I'm pretty excited about.
I'm pretty excited about, Sako. I'm pretty excited about. Okay, so I wanted to have you out here for the comment of the week. And I'm sure everyone will understand why in just a minute. Let me pull that up. So today's comment of the week came from, I think, a comment that was left 2 days ago. And here we go. It's Natanya Demasila, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. Hi there, my name is Natanya, and I'm 15 years old. I am the author of the book Amy and the Faith Scouts, The Diamond of Dandasterton. An incredible title right off the bat.
Indeed.
She continues, which is now available on Amazon. And that day that she left me a comment, she was doing an unboxing on her channel, which quite frankly made me cry. So if you want to go check out her channel, I added her links in the description down below because this is a 15-year-old kid doing what I'm still trying to do. She's already done it. Wow. Go check her out. Incredible. I don't know, your thoughts.
No, like that. I am super impressed. I wish I had such resources when I was 15.
True.
You know?
And it's so funny because I showed my wife the video of her unboxing, and the book, she put a couple of little pictures within the book. Like every couple of pages there's a little picture inside the text, and it very clearly all hand drawn by herself. And my wife is like, "Oh, look, see, that's what you gotta do. You gotta put pictures in your book." I'm like, "I'm writing a novel. What are you talking?"
I'm writing a novel.
I mean, maybe she's right. Maybe I should put some pictures in there. Let's say hi to the chat because there's a lot of people in here. First of all, at 11 a.m., RC Scott was claiming first, bro. Hello, Miss Ward. Let's see here. Ginny, I feel like I haven't seen you in a bit, so welcome. It's so good to see you. What's up, dude? He's coming up soon on Livestream Sunday. I can't wait to ask him all about that running and what that's all about. Amelia with the terrible taste in movies. Hello, how are you? She knows what it is. She knows what I'm talking about. She knows. Sako. All right, yeah, 15-year-old author. Yeah, that's why I
15-year-old
paused
author.
on author because it's not like she's like, hey, I like to write stories. She's like, no, she's a published author.
She's a
Selling her book on Amazon right now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Sako, you want to dive into the topic?
I absolutely do.
Okay, we're gonna dive into the topic. To do that, I have to get all. Ooh, here we go.
Ooh.
All right, Sako. So, we're talking about witchcraft. When I say the word witchcraft, I'm willing to bet that everyone hearing it has a different idea of what that means, from pointy hats and broomsticks to cauldrons and inescapable urges to murder a princess or eat children or whatever. So let's kick this off by setting the record straight as to what your idea of a witch is in our real world here, and what you do as one.
I wouldn't say that murder thing too loudly.
I'm not monetized yet.
By the new witch community's terms, I am considered a gray eclectic witch, which means I pull from multiple paths to create my own. Also, I'm not afraid of the dark bits, and I do not exclude light working from my craft. So I am technically a chaos witch, much like Grant Morrison or Alan Moore. So I come at magic with a scientific mind. Reality is subjective, which means that magic is going to be different for everyone. This means you can experiment and figure out what works for you. I think the most toxic display of witches would be portrayed on Disney movies and The Wizard of Oz. Think about it. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Yeah.
For one, we consider ourselves light, gray, and dark, not good or bad. She was able to give her point of view in the stage show, but the original movie put her in a terrible light. Also, water was her downfall. She opened the window during a rainstorm to send off her flying monkeys, so why didn't she melt then? Why would she live in a leaky and dank castle if she was going to melt? It was a terrible portrayal of witches.
And it wasn't any particular like special rain, if I remember correctly. It wasn't like holy water or anything.
Right, exactly. Right? Like, it was just a bucket of straight up water. It was a terrible portrayal of witches and influenced some of the older witches in their craft.
And a lot of like what we see as witches even today comes from that same, like just that interpretation kind of being redone and reimagined in different ways, but that one rather than any other.
Mm-hmm.
The one that always like bugs me though is like I was watching WandaVision, and I loved that entire season of television, but one of the things that I hate the most is when a character just kind of like shoots a beam out of themselves and just holds it, and they're just like the beam is of energy or whatever it is just like shooting at somebody, and you're like, what is even happening here? Like what am I supposed to understand is the magic here? Like, this doesn't look like magic to me. It looks like sci-fi. It looks like a laser, blast or something.
Right.
And that kind of stuff like always takes me out of it. I'm like, that's not a witch. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The superhero concept of the witch.
Yeah, it's a very different thing.
Very superhero-y.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. It's just like, come on, you're calling it a witch. Let's do some witch stuff. Let's do some witchy stuff.
Yeah.
Sako, the topic permeates the rest of the interview, so we're gonna keep this thing rolling. I wanted to pause very quickly and remind everybody that the Tuber Book Club is a thing, and I've got a thing so that you know what the thing is. Here it comes.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Sako, the people want to know, is Sako Tumi a play on Sako Tumi?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes, it is. For
For
some of you younger people, you may not remember the 70s or the 80s, where Sako Tumi was very prominent in pulp culture. And the one that springs to mind the most is the Respect by Aretha Franklin, right? She kind of like goes into like a free form Sako Tumi, Sako Tumi, Sako Tumi, Sako Tumi. And I know there's like a little sexual innuendo when it talks about Sako Tumi, but my name is Sako. Like, that's my birth name. Like, it's technically Fusako.
That
but
I didn't
Sako
know.
is
I thought Cass Voit was your birth name and Sako Tumi was your alias. Is it the other way around?
It's the other way around. My name is actually Sako. Yeah. And Tumi is made up, of course.
Okay.
But
yeah, sure.
But that
Sorry,
is
there's a bug in here. I didn't get it though. Yeah, what a trip. Your actual name is Sako. That's the best. Okay. Yeah, Amelia and I both suspected that was the reference.
yeah.
but I could not have predicted that your first name was actually Sako. I
Yeah.
really thought it was going to be the other way around. Awesome. Okay. So it seems we're getting a second shot at the release of Flambeau. Can you pitch the book to the audience, and why are we re-releasing it?
I'll start off with the blurb.
Hit it.
Daisaku Watson, a Japanese American bounty hunter, investigates demonic activity on behalf of the Mage Council, a powerful metaphysical organization overseeing magical energies on Earth. When a teenage Latina social activist, Justicia Torres, is charged with bombing a government building during the LA protest march, Watson must discover if the fires are the result of natural mage abilities or the result of someone who has sold their soul to a demon for power.
I'm betting
But
the latter.
but with the help of his friends, a cop and a clairvoyant, Daisaku discovers this arson case is not so simple and more complicated than meets the eye. Instead, he finds himself mitigating an evolving war between heaven and hell, with demons and celestials roaming the earth in human guises. The balance has been tipped, and he is running out of time to decide whether Justicia is friend or foe.
Beautiful. So why re-release it? What did we learn the first time we published, and what are we doing differently this time? What's the deal?
Okay, so B.C. Brown and I technically wrote the book together.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is BC has become sick and has reserved her energy to like existing. So creative projects were put on the back burner and she yanked her writing offline. Unfortunately, that included Flambeau.
Gotcha.
So I went through one more time and kind of proofread it and made sure everything was on the up and up. And there's a new cover on it.
I saw that. It looks good.
Thanks. Which BC designed, by the by.
Nice.
Yeah. So that is, she basically said, well, I can't do that to Sako. That's terrible, partnership sort of dealies. So here are all the rights, go market it the way you want to market it. And I was like, cool.
The fact that she designed the cover puts her stamp of approval on it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. All right. Is this a series, a standalone story? What are we looking at?
Okay, so right now it's standalone, but there is the
I like a good
possibility of a sequel or 3.
Sequels more.
Yeah. I will see if I can come up with an outline but before the year's end. I think that would be nice.
Nice. When did you wait? Where am I? We covered already who designed the cover. BC Brown did. When did you begin working as a graphics designer? I thought your answer was going to be that you had designed it because it was that good.
No. I do design my own covers and stuff like that. I've been a graphic designer since 2003. I went to art school and decided that I wanted to make pretty packages and mailers and stuff like that. So, like formatting books was part of my schooling, right? So,
Yeah.
I actually have education regarding formatting books. I am just dipping my toe into cover design, and we're going to see if this is like a business that I can actually roll with.
I like it. I am also trying to dip my toes into other waters as well and see how they work out because everybody needs money.
Yeah. I hate that we monetize everything we do, but you know
everything
what?
is monetized.
Hustle culture and all of that is like quintessential Gen X sort of situation.
Sure. And especially after the pandemic, it taught everybody how to make money online. Everybody's talking about this problem that nobody wants to go back to work. It's not that they don't want to go back to work, it's that they have better work and they don't need your work anymore.
Or
they're on OnlyFans, like they're making bucks.
There's definitely that. but they want to work from home.
Yeah,
They're not ready to brave the world
that's
for
another thing. Sure.
because there's still a pandemic out there.
I know. It's so
You know,
ridiculous. I
like
never stopped working because I work in hospitality. We were necessary for, first responders and all kinds of folks that were still traveling.
mhm,
And so I never stopped working. So I didn't really see that. And the job I do, I couldn't do from home.
right.
I check people into a hotel. So I'm lucky in that sense that I didn't have to stop working. But I wish that I had spent more time locked up at home than out there, risking it. So
Yeah, but you were probably vaccinated long before the rest of the
yeah, like
populace.
everybody, yeah, everybody in my circle's got to jump on it for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, I confirmed to Amelia that we were right about your name. Good to know. We have some love for BC.
Mhm.
Also does awesome art streams on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, we were getting to her YouTube channel. Thank you for the segue. Why don't you tell the folks who might not know you what they can expect to find on your YouTube channel?
So, what I have done in the past is that I have done piecemeal marketing for authors videos so that, anyone who's doing their own marketing, like self-published authors or traditional published authors for that matter, they have the materials that they're going to need in order to market themselves once the book is released. So I have got a handful of videos in a playlist, and then I started pulling from other YouTubers and stuff like that for a more full out playlist. And so there's a boot camp of sorts, kind of like that. But
Nice.
I for the future of the channel, I'm actually intending on creating a boot camp for
Like an
marketing for
actually construct one.
authors.
Nice.
Yeah, so there will be an actual format and I have an outline that I can actually follow, and little 2 to 5 minute chunks. So it's like a full class that you come out with like a whole kit.
I love a good outline. I put so much faith in people who have outlines. I'm so excited because like there's something there's a commitment in an outline. You know what I mean? Like you're
I
making a
can
commitment.
deviate from the outline a little bit,
Sure, absolutely.
but it's really nice
Everyone
to have a
should.
framework.
Oh
Like
my
I
God,
need
to
that
have that roadwork.
skeleton. I need that
Yes,
skeleton in order to
yes,
put meat on it.
absolutely. Um, I watched a video that you made from back in 2010, teaching your audience to tie a turban. I don't know if it was your first. Was it your first video?
That was my
Um,
first video.
and that was
Back when
what?
it was a belly dancing channel.
So what has 12 years on YouTube taught you about this platform?
Engagement, engagement, engagement.
Yeah.
For sure. One, having a topic where people are going to be interested in how to do it. Like tutorials work out really well for that, right? And two, I actually didn't become involved as an author tuber until April of 2020.
Hmm.
So
That's when you like feel like you actually began in earnest to, strive
actually
to do something.
try with my YouTube channel, and instead of having a video up and I was expecting 15 people to watch it, and all of a sudden I had 10,000 views, and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's yeah. I keep talking up, this episode of Livestream Sunday coming up in 2 weeks with Tim
Mhm.
Hickson. He's Hello Future Me on YouTube. And between between the time that I was able to book him for the show and today, he has gone from, excuse me, tickle in my throat.
Mm.
He has gone from 880,000 subscribers to 900,000. He's crossed 900,000 in just like a couple of weeks. He's huge.
I
And
hear that once you pass like 1,000 subscribers, you jump. Like they make you more visible, and
yeah,
you jump in
the
viewership.
algorithm definitely like pushes you a lot more, and you show up more on people's like for you kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why I'm like this about that episode, because if I'm doing math and I'm just like being generous, like what if like 1% of his audience shows up? You know what I mean? Like that's still 9,000 people.
That is exactly why I think things like Patreon or coffee could be really helpful.
Yeah.
Or when you're selling a book, it would be really helpful, because 1%, if you can count on 1% to actually subscribe to you,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah. That's
then
bananas.
that's bananas. That's
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
You know?
That changes everything on the channel from 0 to 100. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um he says he desperately needs that.
You'll be one of my trial members.
Good old Ben.
I intend on having it for free on YouTube for a little while.
Oh, nice. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Cool,
And
cool.
then I'll unlist it, and I'll actually make it like, a thing on my website.
Gotcha. So RC Scott's been writing for 2.5 years, and he just started using outlines. Come on, man. Well,
Hey,
I'm glad that you started.
you know what? Like, I feel like you got to go through that phase where you started pantsing first, and then you see the benefit
I
of
don't think I ever went through a
outlines.
pantsing phase.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think I've ever gone
I
through a
did.
pantsing phase.
I did for sure.
I think even like when I was in high school writing like school papers, I would do an outline first, and then like actually write the paper out. And I still procrastinated and did it the night before it was due, but I still outlined first.
Well, that is the benefit to outlining, is that you can wait until the last minute, and that way you can just like take an hour or 20
Good
minutes
point.
or whatever and just
That's
crank it out.
You're right. That's probably why I did it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything in the chat going on for up here. Oh, just everybody hydrate. Okay, cool.
Hydrate.
All right. So, any plans for the future of the channel now going forward? You said you began in earnest around 2020. What's been your driving force on that channel so far, and where are you going with it? You mentioned the boot camp.
The boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, the marketing for authors specifically. So I spent 11 years
That's gonna be
like
so cool.
learning my craft and becoming a really great writer thanks to YouTube, YouTube University. So I wanted to give back to the community that helped me out so much. And
It's beautiful.
my particular skill set, yeah, I write, sure, but I know a hell of a lot more regarding marketing and graphic design and all the materials that you're going to need once you release a book. So I feel like I'm gonna, follow that outline and make some high quality videos that will really help.
Yeah,
Rather than just like piecemealing it out like I've been doing the last couple of years.
I love it. That's awesome. Recently, you contacted me about this list that you were kind of putting together for the boot camp. Can you tell us a bit about that? It sounds like you're showcasing some creators.
I am. One of these creators, of course, is Adrian right here. He actually made the trailer for Flambeau, which was amazing and fantastic and wonderful. And I feel like other people should totally consider getting a trailer as part of their cover release, and maybe even consider, Adrian as their, if they don't have the skill set to do it themselves, and they are a
Obviously,
one-take wonder.
if you can do
you
it
know,
for free, do it for free.
if,
Obviously,
yeah.
yeah. But if you can't, give me a call.
Mhm.
I love it. So when's that all like going up, do you think?
I think I'm gonna spend spring and summer recording the videos. So
Nice.
I'm still writing the videos now, like the scripts for the videos. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to read the video, the scripts while I'm being recorded with a fancy camera.
A
So
lot of
like I
memorization's
have a
gonna go down.
videographer and everything. Like it's going to be nice.
Well, maybe you can get one of those. What is it called? The thing that they use like on the cameras to show you the script. Teleprompter.
Teleprompter.
Maybe you can use I think they're pretty cheap now on Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah, check it out. I think so.
I will.
You can just put it right on top of the camera lens right there, and you're looking at the
Really?
camera. I think so. Yeah. Because
Teleprompter app. That sounds cool. Maybe I
Ooh,
can
an
use
app.
my
Your phone.
iPad.
Oh, your iPad. Yeah. That's a nice big screen.
SpeakFlow is a free teleprompter.
There you go. Let's see here. Okay, so let's get back to the witchcraft a little bit. How does that side of you factor into your stories, for example?
I come from a school where you use a focus, right? So be it words, or be it putting stuff in a cauldron, or it's burning or offering, fire or light or flowers or whatever, right? Depending on how I'm working with deities and stuff like that. I make my mages have their focus so that people can understand where that magic is coming from, and like it's not just beams coming from hands. Like they actually have to go through the motions of making a ritual happen. And I feel like Hope's chest, it's a little muddier because she uses technology as her focus, but Daisaku Watson is very eclectic. He comes from a very different school of magic, mostly from Shinto. So that knowledge regarding religion and regarding witchcraft as a craft,
Yeah.
like really
Witchcraft. Yeah, that the craft part of it is essential.
which really helps me. My knowledge and my religion kind of helps me write that religion out.
All right. That makes sense. So like you're writing about characters that use magic, and you're familiar with the different schools, and you are using them to craft original characters with original magic styles and stuff.
I am.
That's
Yeah.
freaking dope. That's awesome. Man, I wish I making me a little jealous. I gotta rework my witch character a little better. Any daily rituals that you recommend to our audience, whether it's for creativity or maybe quieting the mind, relaxing, that sort of thing?
If you can meditate, there is a like a course that the Army had, the CIA had, for astral projection. And they are audio tracks that you listen to, and they're binaural beats. So they activate both your right mind and your left mind, like simultaneously. And that is the headspace that you want to be in when you do witchcraft, or when you write, or when you this is called gnosis, by the way.
Okay.
That way this is also like a hypnagogic state. So like Ernest Hemingway, Albert Einstein, Benjamin Franklin, they all used hypnagogia, that's that place between wake and sleep, to come up with ideas, to come up with answers, like regarding their works. So a lot of that stuff is dream work, right? So I feel like if you can actually go on YouTube. They get taken down every once in a while, but you can actually go on YouTube and look for the oh my gosh, what's it called? The Gateway Experience. The Gateway Experience
Okay.
by the CIA. It was very prominent in the 1980s, and now it has been, like released to the public. It has been retired. So, ooh, mama word.
Yeah, she's got some good questions. We're gonna get to those. We're gonna get to those. I'm starring them as you speak.
Yay!
How does the witchcraft incorporate into the other sides of your creativity and personality? Like how does it affect your graphic design, your all these other things that you do?
I wish I had my stuff with me. I have a shrine right over here. I know it's not lit up right now, but I also have a statue for Saraswati, who is a Hindu goddess of creativity and music and art and all of those things. So I work with her quite a bit. Hindu gods are very excited to work with people in general. It does not matter if you are Indian or not. Um, so as long as you treat the god with respect, hello, Colin. That is really the line between appropriating and actually being able to practice freely.
That's such an interesting part to me. The idea of interacting with not only whatever god your religion serves, but any of the others in the world. Like you recognize the power in each of them, and sort of
Absolutely.
interact with that. That's really cool.
Like I'm not Slavic or Nordic in any way. So for me to call on Odin is a little muddy. It's a little like we don't have much of a relationship. I feel like I have a little bit of a relationship with Bridget because of some stuff that one, she is also a goddess in Celtic and Gaul religions. Technically, my family were Visigoths, so being able to tap into Visigoth gods like Bridget.
It just sounds to me like almost like a real
powerful.
world version of American Gods, the book by Neil Gaiman.
American Gods is influenced by working with both old and new gods. And Neil Gaiman specifically has always treated gods with respect and always very highly educated on these gods and how they interact with the modern world, both in the Sandman series and in American Gods.
I was just gonna say it's one of the things that really elevates the Sandman series, because even if the idea of Dream as this eternal godlike being, even if that's like the whole like part of the fiction, everything else in there is just so respectful of every belief system, and like it's like he's studied
Most
every
especially
religion
that
ever. It's crazy.
Most especially that scene where hell is empty and Lucifer hands the keys
Oh my
over
God.
to Morpheus,
That whole book.
and
Oh my God.
Morpheus,
Season of Mists.
yes, Season of Mists, and they show all the gods who have shown up to get the key,
Yeah.
and it is awesome.
It's incredible. Seriously, if anybody out there has
wonderful
not read The Sandman, if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm sorry, you are missing out on one of the greatest pieces of American literature ever. And it's a comic book series. It's crazy. Just go start at number one. And
even if you're not a huge fan of the art, Like
The
the
art is always
writing,
changing. Almost every book has a different artist like changing the artwork anyway. So like
for
even if
sure.
you don't like the artwork, like focus on the story because eventually you're gonna get to a one where you're like, wow, this is incredible, this is beautiful, and they're all like that. They're all like just so unique and different, and yet it's all one big story. It's
It's wonderful.
phenomenal. I love it. I didn't know we were
It's
gonna
been
go off on this tangent. I
influential.
love it.
It's influential in my writing and in my practice as a witch,
One of the
for sure.
craziest ones is the issue where Midsummer Night's Dream, where
Hmm.
he essentially pits that Dream made a deal with Shakespeare to give him like all of these great creative stories, but the deal was that he would write two stories for Dream, and one
Hmm.
was a Midsummer Night's Dream, and that's why it's so weird and different from all the other things that Shakespeare ever wrote, because he owed it in a contract to Dream, like crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Like, how do you
Crazy.
dream this stuff up? It's
I
amazing.
love it.
It's
I love
amazing.
Neil Gaiman. Okay. When and where did the belly dancing start?
Oh, so in the year 2000, I was 18 years old and I was at a medieval um one. I had just come from living on Guam for a little while where hula is like a big deal. And then I came back to the States and went to an event called Penzic, which is like a medieval war for 2 weeks. And at this war, there are classes and merchants and all kinds of cool stuff. So one of those classes was a belly dancing class, and it happened to be a very regimented style. American tribal style is very strict. It's very, and because it's so strict, anybody can do it, right? So you dance like dancers and improv. They can dance together even though they've never met before, like because they all know the same vocabulary,
Yeah, it's
right?
a physical language
It's a
that they're
physical
speaking to each other.
language. Yeah,
Wow.
so I took those classes and I took it home with me. And 7 years into practicing at home, I was like, maybe I should be taking this seriously. Like, maybe because I've been working at it for 20 years now, like 22 years technically. And like now I'm performing professionally, right? But I could have performed professionally, 15 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I just feel like if I'm gonna reach my goals, I should actually sit down and do the things that reach my
Yeah,
goals.
that's pretty good advice. You want to do a thing, you got to do the thing, right?
You got to do the thing in order to,
So
yeah.
you had a performance recently, you got more coming up, you said.
I do. I do. There's a couple in April. There's a couple of video, like virtual shows that I've got coming up.
Nice.
And one of my favorites is going to be Star Wars Day, May the 5th,
May the
or May the
4th.
4th. May the 4th, I'm dressing as a Twi'lek and dancing to the Cantina themes. Uh, so that is going to be a fun video to make.
I'm already
Um,
there for that. That's awesome.
yeah, I try to do it only by the quarter. Um, that way I can leave like the future quarters,
Mm.
they can evolve with time. Because I like to get a little more information before,
Due
because
diligence.
to be determined does
Mm.
only get so far,
Yeah, yeah, copy that. I believe this comment is from back when I asked you how the witchcraft influences your creativity. Um, I feel like I am always a witch first, and so all of my groovy vibes automatically spill over into everything I do, especially creative endeavors.
especially creative endeavors.
So
So that
kindred spirits
gnosis
here.
thing, that gnosis thing that I was talking about, that headspace you're in when you're at a really boring lecture or a really boring meeting, and you're kind of doodling in
Mm-hmm.
the margin of your notes
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. That headspace is that gnosis that I'm talking about.
Mm.
So it's really easy to slip into gnosis when you're doing music, when you're doing writing, when you're doing art, illustration is more what I mean when I say art.
Sure.
But like that witchcrafty vibe that you get when you do creative work. In martial arts, we call it Zen, right? That
Sure.
flow that you
Yeah. The
enter,
flow state. Yeah.
that flow state, that is gnosis. That witchy state of mind, it permeates creative work for sure, and
I I
physical work too, for that matter.
I trained for a little while in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and I remember my very first lesson ever. I had no idea it was gonna take me to that place. So when I left there, having not partaken in any drug of any kind, having only just worked out with another dude really, really hard, I felt high. My
Yeah,
my 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 vision was doing the buzzy thing, and like I felt the like the tendrils of veins through my skin. I was stoned from an exercise,
yeah,
and it was because of like that sort of zen state that you're talking to, that one gets to when you're doing a creative, especially a physically creative thing like that. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's crazy
I
stuff.
completely agree.
That's crazy stuff. May the 5th is for the Sith.
Yes, it is.
All right, all right. Sako's
Oh,
dance,
thank you,
getting some
Colin.
love. That state of in between, I forget.
That
He says,
state of
yeah,
in between.
yeah, that tweener state. All right, so let's go ahead and get to some of these questions from our chat. If I can remember how to work this thing, here we go. All right. Now I'm gonna make this one a scrolly thingy. All right, label it with a
Yay.
Q, people. Do what you do, and let's get started. The first one up. Do you find your internal struggles or the struggles of those you know weaving their ways into your stories?
For sure. For sure. I have been through some, horrible traumatic stuff in my youth. Yeah, for sure. And who doesn't? But I like having a well-informed meat grinder of which I can like run my characters through, which is how I write horror, how I write thrillers.
Yeah, nice. Her follow-up question we have already discussed how you got into it.
Yeah.
What is the greatest misconception you find about witches, be it in popular culture, etc.?
The TikTok witches, um, the younger generation, basically, to ride a silver broomstick and all of that. They
But they're the Harry Potter generation, right? Like that's a whole different.
no,
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 not that
um,
one. A
not that
newer one.
one. It's a, it's not. I mean, sure, we all love the setting of the Harry Potter series and stuff like
Sure,
that, but
magical fun.
I I don't know a lot of witches that um how do I put this? The TikTokers put a curse on the moon in 2020, right? So
How did that work
that
out for them?
I don't think it worked out.
It looks pretty good to me. I just saw it yesterday.
I think the last like 5 or 6 full moons have been bitter places to be.
Yeah.
Like bitter.
What is up with that? All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's always gonna be some dum dums out there, right? Can't help it.
Mm.
Can't help it. Um, I wanted to throw this one up. I find that state when drawing or sculpting easier to achieve. With writing, it's unusual. Performance on stage is another case where it's easier to channel. And Aphrodite
Yeah.
echoes his performing thoughts. Yeah, like another realm, she says.
I
Very
feel
cool.
like um, doing creative things with other people is coven work,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you like having multiple practitioners. Usually, a coven is closer in relationship, but you can go to a meetup like with the Universalist Church if it's being run by a Wiccan or
Mm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like and partake in the ritual, and it's just as powerful if it's than if it's in a coven.
Mm.
But doing it with other people, there's definitely power benefits.
Power there, like it intensifies.
Hmm.
How do you feel about people misusing witchcraft or tarot in stories and media because witches are cool side characters?
I'm kind of insulted because some people take it seriously. I am aware that fiction has its place in the
Sure.
craft. It doesn't always have to be so reliable as I write it. Um, but some people take it as gospel. And I have a friend of a friend who just read about a kami named Inari, who is a kitsune, a trickster god, basically. Kami are devils, right? And she read it in a novel, and now she feels like she's had an experience and she wants to bring it into her practice. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to work with the kami.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe stay away from that stuff. Maybe
Like
put that
the
down.
trickster part is a lot stronger than the prosperity part.
Yeah, you've got
He's gonna
you've got.
steal from other people and give it to you.
There's
Like
so many
that's
lovable tricksters in fiction these days, especially like with the popularity of Loki and the Marvel movies and things like that, where like, oh, he's not so bad, and it's like, yo, a trickster is gonna mess you up, bro. Like you don't know what you're getting into. That's crazy.
read some Coyote sometime. Jeez.
Aphrodite says, "I hate being defined as a naive devil worshiper. That irks my soul." I hear you.
That I don't I don't worship the devil. I recognize him as an entity, but I do not work with him. I do not like I also do not work with, the quintessential god either.
Hmm.
So I I think that is the worst misconception is being called a devil worshiper.
Hmm.
That and them using Baphomet as the representation of the devil, and that is super. The goat with
Yeah, with
the
the horns. Yeah.
with the words on the inside of the arm and the boobs, and yeah, that god is not the devil. That god is Baphomet,
It's a
which is
completely
actually
separate.
worshipped by the Templars. So
Interesting.
like we can go into that whole misconception of Sabrina the Teenage Witch for eons, but
Yeah.
let's not and
Yeah.
say we did.
um, will you go back to your reading and reviewing witchy books?
I do read. I have read a couple of witchy books since I have a witch channel. I do. Um, I used to have coffee on there, and when we drank our coffee, people could ask witch questions, and I read from a craft book. Um,
I remember those videos. Yeah,
yeah,
those streams.
it's I need to go back to it, but I need to read a book from cover to cover and come up with my own thoughts rather than read a paragraph, discuss the thoughts with the crowd. So I had an author actually hunt me down and zop me because I was reading his book.
Oh,
Never
okay.
mind that I was making more commentary than I was reading his book. He was like, "You're reading my book in its entirety, and that hurts authors," and whatnot. And I'm like, I have an affiliate link in the description. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be that guy.
When did
The
you come
first
out
half
of
of
the
the book
broom?
was
Oh,
really good. The first half of the book was really good.
you weren't
The,
able to finish it. He
the second
kept you from
half of
finishing
the
it.
the second half of the book was poorly, like the grammar is terrible. The topics get really weird,
Maybe he was afraid of you
like
getting to the second half.
haphazard, like, and he's kind of bitter that he didn't get a second deal with Llewellyn, which is like the quintessential witchy publishing company,
Gotcha.
so
So, when did you come out of the broom closet? Asks Aphrodite.
I was practicing in private between 12 years old and 15 years old. And then when I turned 16, I became quite public with it. I converted from Wicca to chaos magic in like 2018, 2015, something like that. And there's a lot more science involved with my craft these days, which is I feel like it's more gratifying because there are all these wonderful magical like abilities that you have, like just by mixing some chemicals. Like we can perceive the universe in a very finite way scientifically,
Yeah,
and
it's chemistry. Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
This may be our last question. Do you
Okay.
get as annoyed as me when folks mistake witchcraft as satanic in essence? We talked
Yes.
about a little bit, but go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it does, which is why I never gave Sabrina the Teenage Witch any credence. Like, I just, science and magic are the same. Yeah.
Walter White agrees.
They're very connected.
Just like baking is chemistry.
Yep.
Wait, so that
Baking
means
is magic.
I was just gonna say that making a cake is magic.
Kitchen witches, like
Kitchen witches.
not to oust people, but like I know fellow author tubers and fellow people in the community who are kitchen witches, like legit kitchen witches, and they are master bakers. Master
bakers, everybody.
bakers.
Sako, thank you so very much for being on my show. Go ahead and say your goodbyes to everybody at home. Remind them what you've got coming up, and I'll give you the floor.
All right. Howdy, neighbors. It's Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those two things. If you like this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. And if you would like to see more streams exactly like this one, then you might want to hit subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube notifies you when he goes live, and we will catch you on the flip side.
I love having a pro on. I love having a pro on my show. Very, very nice. Loving the chat. Thank you so very much for being here, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Be back next week. We're going to be talking to Helen Garraway about the release of her latest book in the Sentinels series. And then the week after that is Tim Hickson from Hello Future Me. I am beyond excited. It's going to be bananas. So please be here for that. If you want more from Miss Sako Tumi, Thursday The follow-up podcast we're about to record will air on this very channel in its video form. You can also get audio-only versions on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. This Tuesday is the Tuber Book Club. Be there for Tuber Book Club. And I think that about does it. Right on, writers. We're out.